Our gospel text for today, as we prepare for the feast of Christmas, is from the Gospel of Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 to 24. It narrates for us the birth of Jesus according to Matthew. It tells us that Joseph was a righteous man. That Joseph was a man who followed the law. That Joseph was betrothed to a woman named Mary. Betrothed meant engaged and not married, and that is why betrothed meant that the man and his wife would not sleep together until the marriage and after. This meant that Joseph was in his own home and Mary was in her home because they had not been married. And yet, in a dream that Joseph has in his home, he is exhorted, he is invited by God to take Mary, who is with child by the Holy Spirit, as his wife. Joseph is a just man. Joseph is a righteous man. Joseph wants to do what is correct. His intention, therefore, is not to disgrace Mary because he is also a merciful man. He wants to divorce her quietly. However, Joseph is also a man who will listen to the promptings of the Spirit, even though he cannot always understand those promptings. And even though his righteousness, even though his following the law, even though his mercy will make him divorce his wife quietly, without causing a scandal to her, without bringing her in the public square and disgracing her, God's will is to go beyond that. God's will is to do what he cannot fathom, what he cannot understand, what his rational mind would say no to. And Joseph reflects and asks himself, which is better to do? Is it better to do his will, or is it better to do the Lord's will? And even though in his case, the Lord's will is more difficult, even though in his case, he cannot really understand the Lord's will, he chooses the Lord's will and he takes the pregnant Mary as his wife. The child born is given the name Jesus, but besides Jesus, given another name, a name which is Emmanuel, and explained by Matthew as God with us, as God in us, as God for us. It was because of the courage of Joseph. It was because Joseph was willing to forgo his own will for the will of God that we were able to get a Messiah. There are times in our lives when we want to do the right thing. We want to do the legal thing. We want to do what is good. And God invites us to do something that is merciful, to do something that goes beyond the law and righteousness, which goes to the law of love. At those times, like Joseph, if we open our minds, if we open our hearts, then God speaks and the voice of God will be loud. Then, like Joseph, even if we are inclined to do our will, which may be the right thing, which may be the legal thing, we will give up that in order to do God's will, which is always the loving thing. When you are caught in a dilemma about whether to do the right thing or to do the loving thing, will you dare to choose the loving thing?